time to review our Hashflare.io investor spreadsheet. Link in the description to it down below in case you have not been following the series. Basically what we're doing here is investing a modest sum every week on Sundays into our Hashflare account to try to see if you can work your way up to a fair amount of investment for people who don't have tons of money to throw into investing in Bitcoin. And in full disclosure, I am using my actual Bitcoin to purchase this, not actual real cash. Probably will at some point because eventually I'm going to run out of Bitcoin. But I just want to make sure that you're aware that this isn't actually costing me dollars, but it is costing me dollar value in Bitcoin. So it does average out the same. This is something you could do yourself if this experiment proves to be worthwhile. Let's take a look at what we've been doing. So after last week's 24 mega hash per second rate on our cloud mining, we have invested in another 12 mega hash per second. So now we have 36 mega hash per second, and we still have our pools divided up this way. As I said, we're going to do that for one more week, and then we're going to alternate them based on the best performing pool in the category and see if that makes a difference. So we have our value for 1 week, and now we're going to try to optimize our value. And it might be a little early to start worrying about that, but it's never too early to start trying to do better. And I think we have a good baseline now. So one of the things I want to address, sorry if that scrolled across your screen really fast, is the falling rate of Bitcoin right now. When we started this experiment, Bitcoin was well over $9,090 US dollars per Bitcoin, and now we've lost about $1,000 US dollars per one Bitcoin. So we are actually seeing a declining value in the price of Bitcoin as we are increasing our investment into mining. So here's where we get clear on what our performance was for the week. Now I have simplified this into US dollar figures because it's easier than dealing with these minuscule values in Bitcoin. So through the week, we averaged between 17 and 24 cents per day. Now, since the pool we are mining, the rate we are mining, gives us maintenance fees, we are paying between 12 and 18 cents in maintenance fees, which means we are gaining money. As you can see, we started out at 64 cents in our account and we're out to 92 cents. But even though these figures show we're gaining 17 to 24 cents a day, in all reality, we're averaging about 5 cents a day. So it seems like no matter how much we put in, the difficulty rate increases and the price of Bitcoin dropping, we are making about 5 cents a day. We're still making money. We're not actually paying back in to maintain our mining pool. So that's a good thing. And we are about halfway towards our first reinvestment point. I'm really looking forward to the days when it is not 2 weeks between reinvestments. So tomorrow I'll put another 2160 value in Bitcoin into our account, and we'll see what kind of a difference it makes. One of the things that I've done is I've totaled these figures down below, where you can see we have actually paid out $2.74 in these 16 days that we've been doing this experiment. We have paid $1.91 of that in maintenance fees, and we have gained 92 cents. So technically, by the way this appears, we are actually paying more than we are making by a significant amount. So there's our investment. We have invested $64.80 in Hashflare right now. And here is, as always, all of the Hashflare predictions as to when our income is going to be. So these values assume that the difficulty of mining one Bitcoin does not increase, and the value of one Bitcoin does not increase based on the time when you look at the forecast. So assuming that this is the value here, as you look across, you can see, we'll just do the last one because this is basically subjective, but it kind of gives us a brief overview of what we can expect to make. 24 cents a day, which is actually fairly accurate. $1.69 a week, which is fairly accurate. $7.25 a month, which is fairly accurate, and $43.49 and $88.19, which is fairly accurate. Now, considering is of the 24 cents that we made, 18 cents of that was chewed up in maintenance fees. That means that this figure, and most dramatically, this figure is going to be significantly lower than it actually comes out. So basically, if things continue in this trend and we expect to see Bitcoin fall, and if we sell it at a low point, and believe me, I don't see any reason why we would do that, but if we sold it the day it was done, we would be losing a significant amount of money, probably 70% of what we've invested. So basically, we turn this $64.80 into about 20 bucks. So I think I'm going to do a small additional investment into another pool, and I'm going to observe it and see if one of the no maintenance pools does a little bit better. So we'll see how that works out. If it does anything, I'll mention it. If it doesn't, I'll mention that it didn't. But you could stay tuned and we'll find out what it did. I don't think I'll include it in the spreadsheet because this is just simply an experiment. I don't expect it to go anywhere. But I just want to see if it does make any difference whatsoever. So I may make a sheet for it to track it temporarily. But we're going to continue on the way we're doing things. And that should be good progress. But like I said, the major changes for next week are going to be that we will have another 12 mega hash per second hashing rate, and we are going to start optimizing our pool settings to see if that makes any difference, because we have several weeks of archived data to say what exactly we're bringing in on a daily basis. Maybe by optimizing this, we can kind of increase this figure without increasing this factor and make this figure, this pool variance, a little bit higher. And just in case you didn't catch it last time, the reason I have this daily pool variance, I'm going to carry this over between all of the spreadsheets because this figure is going to reset as soon as we get enough to buy 1 mega hash rate per second, and it'll zero out, and this will actually be able to carry forward how much we will have made over the course of this experiment. And once again, this is just an experiment. This is not serious investing. There are a number of very, very good people on YouTube that you can definitely check out. Some of them have commented in my comment section. You definitely want to watch their videos because they go more into depth about what you need to look at. We're just doing this as an experiment with a minimal amount of money, because I look at it this way. If this does seem to work in our favor, by the end of it, does the ability to invest half of what most people would probably pay for eating out to lunch at work in a week pay off? Or does it never pay off? Does we eventually reach a breaking point where we start to see a variance between what we're making and what we're not making? And basically that would mean we would have to overcome the mining difficulty increases, and I don't see that quite happening. So what we're going to see probably is a steady income of very little money, and I'm not sure that's the best return we can do. I'm going to parallel this against a couple other things as we go through the experiment as to other things we could have done with the money and how that would have paid off, but I need more time before I start making those parallels because I need to be able to compare the amount we've put in over a period of time as opposed to a 1 week period. So probably once we have 2 or 3 months worth of data on this, I'll be able to draw some conclusions as to what might have been a better way to spend our money, if there is one. So that'll come later, but I will talk to you guys next week. you can definitely stop back and check it out. I welcome your comments. This is a very open discussion on this project, and I realize this is not optimal. I make sure to say that in every one of these videos that I can. This is not an encouragement that this is how you should do things. This is an experiment in a possible method for people who don't have significant amounts of money to get into Bitcoin mining at a reasonable factor, and to see if it actually is viable. Because my motivation behind that was everywhere that I was looking, people were saying, don't bother getting into this if you don't have $300, $500, $1,000, $10,000. Don't even think about it. Well, that kind of made me think about it. What do people do who don't have that kind of money? I'm fortunate that I have a surplus of Bitcoins that I can kind of toss around and do what I feel like. So it made sense to me to be able to fund this project through those without having to worry about any kind of ramifications to losing the money. And could be a potential investment in my residual Bitcoins that I have sitting around. You don't make money by sitting on money. You make money by reinvesting and utilizing the money you have to make money. Saving money is not necessarily going to get you a return on your money. And by saving, I mean just hanging onto it in your hand. If you do something with it, if you utilize it, if you move forward with it, that's when you get a return because of your work. So this is another avenue that I'm exploring of possible ways to turn an investment or spin off an investment into something minor that may turn into something else without a huge impact on finances. Anyway, that's it for now. I will talk to you guys next week. This is definitely a series that takes a bit of editing, so I've got to get started on that, and I will get this video posted as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, and if you're curious about this, I have all of these stored in a playlist, and then the spreadsheet will remain available ad infinitum on Google Sheets. You can definitely check it out if you want. See all the historical value. I do these weird experiments, so just keep that in mind if you're new here. Sometimes they don't make sense, but I'm very inquisitive, so we're definitely going to try out some different things here and see what we can do. I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks for watching. I know I said that like 3 times. I'm sorry.